Well, when when you come to your family's house, first thing they do is have you put together a log splitter and then split a bit of wood. So we still got some logs we got to buck down, and got a whole nother stack over there and another pile over here. So yeah, and then you can see up in the woods, got a whole nother pile to split. We're gonna have some work to do ahead of us here. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and skip the formalities, and we're gonna go ahead and tear into the truck. It's kind of a little bit brisk out here, it's kind of hard to go from 80 degrees, 85, 75, 85 degrees up in the East Coast to it is now 59 degrees right now. So it's nice in the sun, but it's a little chilly in the shade. So we're here in Colorado. I got the old windshield diaper on there to protect from the wind blowing up my parents' driveway. But yeah, today we're gonna tear apart the truck a little bit and see if we can't solve once and for all our grounding issue in the cab. And for those of you that are new here or haven't seen the oil pressure sending unit issue video that we did, well, number one, welcome. Or if you haven't seen it, go watch it. Come on. Anyway, we are having an issue where when the truck is cold, I read 40 psi on the gauge on the dash. When we are running with a manual pressure gauge hooked directly to the truck, we get plenty of oil pressure. When the truck heats up, the oil pressure on the dash goes to 0. Even though we're getting like 20 psi, 26 psi on the manual pressure gauge. So we've replaced the oil pressure sending unit. We replaced the oil pressure gauge with a known good one out of a working truck and a brand new one. Both of them give us the same anomalous readings. So reading the comments and I've also thought about it a little bit as well. We figure it's probably a grounding issue on the cab because we also have this issue. Well, and glitch number 972. The cab lights on the truck are a heck of a lot dimmer than they should be. The one on the right over there and the one in the middle is almost out. Those are barely even on. So I need to get down into the frame and see if I can get that one, maybe replace it and put another grounding strap on that cab, because those lights are just grounded into the cab. Well, so far we cleaned up the ground lead here, the ground strap. There's not much for that thing to bite onto. And if you look at the way that this thing, I mean, I've even cleaned it, but it was mostly just paint. And this just goes on, and all it really does is hold the ground strap away from the frame. It doesn't even work, so I'm gonna get rid of that. Good, because I just dropped it. It's down there somewhere. Oh, there we go. Seems like a fairly decent connection. It's probably gonna rust, so we'll throw a little coat of paint on there to cover it up. I think we're due for a new rubber boot. I don't know if you can see looks like the pinch point is rusted out. So that's a new feature. Anyways, I'll get this rubber boot taken off and we'll lift the truck. Well, at least it's just the bottom that's rusted out. The top still looks good. Now we got the cab up. Let's go ahead and take a look around. I do see a couple things that concern me right off the bat. Got a little bit of an oil weep coming out of the bottom of the turbo. I do have an extra turbo back at the house, but that's in Washington. All the alternator bolts are still there, which is good. No cracks around the brackets. We'll test the torque on those here in a minute. Looks good on this side so far. Ooh, we got a power steering leak. It looks like it is weeping out of the bottom of the pump, or out of the reservoir here. Better check that. Man, those things are just rusting like crazy. Those are junky bolts. We're gonna have to change those. Can't have rusty bolts, man. Idler pulley could use a little tension. I'll check the tension on the bolts up there. To make sure our air pump isn't walking off or doing something stupid. There's our new oil pressure sending unit, and that is the junction valve or junction that they put in so I can tee off of here and put in a manual pressure sensor or manual pressure regulator, not regulator, manual pressure gauge. Thank you. Okay, but the thing we want to get to is right back onto there. So the reverse polarity junction box, we want to get rid of, we want to start checking that. Also on inspection, just in the last 6 months, man, that thing is, Midwest military shocks and stuff are starting to rust up pretty good. A closer look at that. Yeah, from that whole corner down, it's pretty well chewed. So I got another one of these back at the house. Maybe I'll have them make a care package to be shipped out. All right, back to the work. Get you in here and see if you can see. These don't look bad. They're not 100% great, so we're just going to go ahead and hit them with some 1200. Wire brush this fitting. This bolt is rusty on the outside, but it's clean on the inside, so I just checked this one. This one was a little loose, but other than that, we haven't checked the bottom two 12-volt ones yet, so we'll get to those here in a second. And yes, I turned the batteries off. Not terrible, but that is not great. I don't know if you guys can see. It is a little crusty, but we'll get it cleaned up. So this isn't a pro tip, but something I do when I have a rusty bolt with a rusty threads, or a rusty nut with rusty threads. So I'll just put it in my chuck. There we go. And you can see from the outside what it looked like. Now it looks nice and shiny. So, not pro tip. It's probably a do not do tip. Replace it. It's a clean one. But I'm in the sticks. I don't have that option. I don't know if you can see this. Yeah, you can barely see it. But there's the cab bushing on the bottom there. You can see right there. This is the ground. This is the bottom nut that holds the cab bushing or the cab bump stop on. And then there's the ground around it. Doesn't look terrible, but it does not look clean. So we're gonna, I don't know how the heck we're gonna get it, because that is way up in there. Like back in there. So I think what we're gonna do is just do like I did with the other one. Make a new one, run it to the same ground as the engine ground of the frame, and then run it through the inside of the frame rail up to where the body mount is, or where the body ground is, which is up. Can't really see it. Anyway, I'll show you. Okay, for those of you that are curious, this is the grounding strap for the cab. The outside's clean, we did that before. I had another grounding strap here, and then this grounding strap actually runs to a bolt that goes through the frame into this cab bump stop. So you'd either have to pull all of this wiring, the bumper, or the radiator to get to that bolt. So we just took the grill out, put another freaking strap in. We may have taken the skid plate out to see if we could get a wrench up from underneath, but you can't, because the bolt is literally between the frame, so right between this piece and that bump stop. So yeah, pain in the butt. So we're just going to add another one to right where the engine mount, the engine ground goes to. So all right, let's finish raising the cab. All right, well, let's see if this thing even turns on. Oh, that doesn't bode well. That should be like 14 volts. 1 volt drop somewhere. We're showing 40 psi still. I don't think that's gonna do it. Oh well. But well, let me warm it up and see what happens. Well, we've been driving around for a little while now, and we did resolve the lighting issue with the grounds. We also solved the air handler going from inside air to outside air, back and forth. That is actually now actuating quickly, so that is a problem that has been solved. But as far as the oil pressure, we're no longer going to 0 when we're stopped. It's like 6 or 7 psi. It's like right above the red mark, which is kind of weird. But so that's changed a little bit, but it hasn't resolved it. So if you have any ideas what that could possibly be, or some other things that I should probably check out, go ahead and leave those comments down in the description, or in the description. Go leave those comments, and I'll try and troubleshoot some of that. But I don't want to leave you on a cliffhanger, so I've got a little bit of footage after this for an experience that we had while we were golfing in Estes Park. And then also Sky decided to befriend an elk, and not just a little elk, a big elk. So I'll send you some footage of that too. Anyways, I want to thank you all for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Where is she? You gonna play with that guy? Where is she?
She's right there.
Did you find a friend? Come on. Come on, monkey.
Oh, you've been digging?
Come on, come let's get a biscotti. You busy girl, look at you. You're so dirty.
What are you so dirty for?
Look at you. Should go on an adventure.
So there's the elk Sky was just playing with. What did you get into? Did you play with the elk, huh? Why is your face all dirty? You want some water? All right, we got some interference on the field. There's our pin. Our pin's right there on the other side of that big ass elk. Oh well, I guess we're hanging out for a bit.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's a big ass elk.
That's awesome.
Okay. Hey, don't eat my ball. Don't eat my ball. No. 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 Don't eat my ball. Dang it. That's the guy I'm worried about right there, though. Yeah. I'm just going to pick my... Oh, I don't like the way that guy's looking at me. I'm going to pick mine up, and we're going to go to the next...